Thanks for being with us here today. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Jacqueline. I go by Jaci most often. I'm from upstate New York originally, which really means about 2 hours north of New York City. So I call New York home, but I've sort of been searching for another place to call home, which is why we're in Japan today, in Kawagoe. Professionally, I've spent my career in human resources, largely in recruiting and workforce development, but I'm fortunate enough that about 2 months ago, I retired to be able to spend more time with my family, more time traveling, and more time here in Japan. Japan is just, for me, it's still hard to put into words why I love it so much here, especially for someone who's never been here or spent that much time here. But there's just such a lightness and I don't know, just like love for life in the air. Everyone we meet is so incredibly nice. People will go out of their way to help us when I look lost, which I often do, or I can't find the elevator to bring a stroller upstairs, or my daughter drops a toy on the ground. People will just run out of nowhere to come help us. I think the accessibility to things is really important for me too. So public transportation, oh my gosh, couldn't be easier. And I guess it's also just amazingly clean. That's a big deal. I've appreciated that so much. The buying process was very straightforward. It really was. I had toured 4 apartments during my visit, which all happened in one day. So the fact that I could see that many places in one day was also really amazing, even though I was prepared to go on multiple visits or multiple days. And after that day, I had asked more questions about, maybe different services that the buildings had or whatnot. But I was able to make a decision in that, actually at that evening, I believe, in terms of which place we would be best suited for. And then we kind of just moved forward. I think very quickly the next day, we talked about the immediate next step that was necessary, which was, putting together an offer and presenting the offer. And just every step was very clearly and easily lined up for me as it needed to happen. It wasn't like, here's everything, you need to do. It was sort of like step by step by step, and very kind of like a table of contents to follow, which I really appreciated. But I think the whole process was also relatively short. I want to say it was maybe not more than a couple of months. So the experience, once we knew that this was the area that we were really interested in, my partner did use a specific website similar to the ones we're accustomed to in the US. But we don't know what we don't know. So we shared that link of the property that we were interested in. And then Mr.LAND asked some additional questions, like qualifying questions, like how many bedrooms, what's your price range? Do you want to be close to a train station? What are some other wish list items that you'd want? Do you want an outdoor space? That sort of thing. And then we're able to come back with additional properties for us to review. I would say we knew that this property was the one because the second I walked in here, it felt like home, that feeling you get when you walk in somewhere and you're okay, it just feel at ease. We can be anywhere in a really short amount of time, which is really neat. I think we can get to Tokyo in less than an hour quite easily. So our expectations, were not enormous, but we wanted to feel like we were making a good investment and wanted to be somewhere we would be comfortable enough for long stretches of time. And this just felt very much that. My first impression was it felt comfortable. Things felt really comfortable. I felt like I could ask whatever questions I had, and of course I had quite a few, I'm sure. Also the fact that, international buyers is a common thread with Mr.LAND, and that to me was really important because That means you've sort of ironed out a lot of the things that anyone needs to know who's buying a home, who doesn't live in Japan or isn't from Japan. So that was really helpful to, you almost could know what and expect what I would ask. I found that to be very, very useful. I think probably the fact that I truly did feel like Mr.LAND and the agents wanted whatever I wanted. Like, they wanted what was best for me. They didn't just want to close a deal. They didn't want to sort of even just take me out to look at houses. Even after our 4 or 5 property search, we went to coffee afterwards. And that was so lovely. I felt like it was a very personal experience that I haven't seen at all before. And I felt at ease because I felt like everyone was everyone had my back, I guess you could say. The advice I would give is try to determine certainly which prefecture, which area you'd like to live in. You know, do you want to be close to airports? Do you want to be close to Tokyo? I think knowing what kind of lifestyle you want to experience is really important. I have made a profound effort to put myself into the community. So whether that's visiting my favorite coffee shop every day, whether that's going, like this past weekend, Pepper, my daughter, and I, we went to a meetup that was hosted by a local bookstore, a kids bookstore near Kawagoe Station. And they read a book about bugs in English, and then we all went searching for bugs in this local park. And it was so lovely, and people were curious and asked questions and engaged with us. Why are you here? What are you doing here? You know, when are you coming back? So just putting in the effort to really immerse yourself, if that's what you want, in the community.